Radio 90.2 megahertz VHF.
That's the music from the Dream Syndicate from their fine LP, which has at long last been licensed from Slash Records in the States and is now out on Rough Trade Records. The LP's called The Days of Wine and Roses, and that was the Dream Syndicate with Tell Me When It's Over. Well, good evening to you. It's 9 minutes past 7 o'clock and you're tuned to Phoenix Radio, and if you've just tuned in expecting this to be the opening up of transmissions, well, as from this week, Phoenix Radio on a regular basis is now on the air from 5pm, and our rundown, in case you don't know, is from 5 to 6pm Jenny Kelly, from 6 till 7 Danny Dipole. At 7 o'clock we're going to be having some gig information, and we'll maybe be expanding that into sort of a music news feature with Mark X, as he's known at the moment. And it's myself, John Scott, with you from 7 till 9 usually, but at 8:30 this week we have a guest programme which is Robert Wyatt, recorded when he was over here recently on his promotional visit to promote shipbuilding, and that's a show going under the title of Spanish in the Works. You'll find out more about that at 8:30. And at 9 through till 11 o'clock it's Jill Black, and in Jill's programme this week there'll be an interview with Pete Dunn from the Rough Trade Record Shop, and you'll be finding out the shop's past, present and its future as well. Here's the Monochrome set. Some music from the Monochrome set from their compilation LP just issued on Cherry Red Records and selling reasonably well, though could perhaps do better. It's called Volume Brilliance Contrast, features some early session material and some of their early singles on one of their 2 or 3 other labels. That was a track from it called He's Frank, which was an old Rough Trade single. And we'll be having Bid from the Monochrome set, who's the lead singer and writes a lot of their material, doing a guest programme later on in the month. And what I'll do is give you a rundown of the various guest programmes that we've got up and coming over the month. So there's bound to be something which will perhaps grab your attention, and you'll maybe specifically want to make sure that you're in on a Saturday night for, apart from just the usual gang of us here at Phoenix. Don't forget, if you want to give us a ring, our phone line's going to be open about another 15 minutes through till 7:30 when it closes down. And if you'd like to tell us what you think of the new programmes, then we'd be interested in your comments. Also, if you'd like to tell us what reception's like in your area, because yet again this week we've done some more technical work to try and improve the signal. So if it's about the same or perhaps a bit better or even worse, then do let us know. Our phone number 01. Right, I was going to play another record then, but that particular deck isn't queued up, so even it's got to me as well this evening. Is the Awesome Family instead, and this is Heartbeat. That's a great single from the Awesome Family, who originate, I think, somewhere from about the West London area. Well, maybe you have to find out more about that group. A fine debut single from them, and that's on their own Awesome Enterprises label, and that's called Heartbeat. Okay, I'll give you a quick rundown of some of the guest programmes which we're going to have up and coming. This evening, as you're probably aware by now, Robert Wyatt with Spanish in the Works. That's at 8:30 through till 9 o'clock. Then next Saturday, which is the 16th of July, we have a guest programme from Simon Edwards from the Rough Trade record label, which is separate from the Rough Trade shop who you advertised. And that'll be a personal choice plus some forthcoming label releases, no doubt. The week after that, July 23rd, we're going to have a guest programme from a couple of people from the Jamming fanzine, Alan McLaughlin and Tony Fletcher, which promises to be good. And we'll also have a second guest programme that evening put together by the London Underground and the On New Sounds label. And the week after that, which is July the 30th, we have a programme put together by Pete and Nigel from the Rough Trade shop, which is a review of the current US scene, and we'll be hearing some various US records from not only the West Coast but inland as well. And we'll have a second guest programme that evening as well, which is Bid from the Monochrome set. So there's a good full lineup, something very different with the guest programmes, and I hope you listen to them and comment about them. I just mentioned about one that we're going to have up and coming, put together by London Underground and the On New Sound label, and here's something from the On New Sound label, so maybe this is a sort of reflection of the sort of things that we're going to be hearing. 3 tracks in a row there. First of all, we heard from a compilation LP on the On New Sound label called Wild Party Sounds, and that was Jar Whoosh with the Woodpecker Sound. We followed that with the Box from their new LP Secrets Out, which seems to be getting some good reviews, which I'm pleased to see. That track was Water Grows Teeth, and then Isla Singaza, and a single I've been playing over the past couple of weeks now, and as I've Some music from Jane Casey and Company, Pink Industry, and that's The Final Cry. Hello to Charlie Clerk if you're listening this evening. Thanks for your letter. You live in, where are we? Highfield Road, Winchmore Hill, North 21. A regular listener, so I gather. And as I say, thanks for your letter. It's always nice to hear from people that have written into us more than once or twice. And I think it was yourself that sent us in the little plastic put-together survival kit. And we thank you all very much for that. Although we did have a few problems fitting it together. After the break, we're going to have some words of wisdom from the Mood of Defiance.
Street Sounds, just about the fastest, coolest, hottest compilation packs of the latest, greatest dance tracks. Street Sounds 4 features full-length or special mix versions by their original artists. Forest, Feel the Need in Me, M2A, Juicy Fruit, Sunfire, Young, Free and Single, Maze, Love is the Key, First Light, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Luther Vandross, D-Train, and many more of the best Get Down Street Sounds. 1 hour packs of the latest dance tracks. Edition 4 on album and cassette, now!
Don't forget that all the records you hear on Phoenix are available from Rough Trade Records at 202 Kensington Park Road, London West 11. Rough Trade are just 5 minutes away from Notting Hill Gate Tube, and they run a mail order service as well. For further details, send a stamped addressed envelope to Rough Trade at 202 Kensington Park Road, London West 11. Or telephone 229 8541. That's 01 229 8541. Rough Trade hits all your music needs.
TVA International present Kid Creole and the Coconuts, Hammersmith Odeon, September 19th to 24th. Tickets from £5. It's the party of the year.
Coca-Cola goes for anything that you sniff up your nose or shoot up your arm!
Some music from the Mood of Defiance, a US group, and that's on New Underground Records. The LP's called Now, and that was Peanut Butter Skies. If Jill Black is listening, then if you, when you come over to the studio to do your programme, could perhaps bring a 50p piece or two, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm sure you'll understand the reason why. Here's some music from Altered Images. It's a Saturday evening and it's 20 minutes to 8 o'clock and you're tuned to 90.2 MHz VHF, and that means Phoenix Radio. Through with you till 11 o'clock this evening as per usual. Now on the air from 5 p.m, don't forget, from this week onwards. And if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can always write to us at Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green, Essex. And if you'd like to enclose a stamped address envelope, we'll send you back some Phoenix Radio car stickers. And I think we've still got a few of our Phoenix Radio posters left. Yes, someone's nodding at me. That means that we have. So if you'd like some of those, that's the address to write to. But please do enclose a stamped address envelope, otherwise we can't afford the postage to write back to everyone. So Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green, Essex is the mailing address to contact us at, and don't forget that SAE. Earlier on in the week I took my usual jaunt to the cinema. I went up to the Lumiere. And who are these cynics that say all the material that we play sounds alike? Just listen to those two and eat your own words. First of all, Dorman Earn, a 12-inch on Illuminated Records, Powdered Lover, and then the Durati column, who's Hoagie Carmichael. I Get Along Without You Very Well. I've played on a couple of previous weeks now. I thought it's time we flipped it over and played the other A-side. Perhaps more familiar Durati column work. That was an arrangement by Vinnie Riley, written by him as well, and that was one called Prayer. Phoenix Radio is the station you're listening to, and at 8:30 this evening we have Robert Wyatt with some Spanish in the works, and I hope you'll listen all the way through to that. Starts off with some Spanish music and then sort of moves on to some Latin American. Sounds really good, and then we go to some Katie Honda stuff as well towards the end of that programme, and I think you'll find that certainly very interesting and maybe enjoyable as well. And if you'd like to get in contact with us, write us to us. You can always write to us at Phoenix Radio, number 1 St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex. Next up is another record which we've been playing for a few weeks now by Los Gringos, a 12-inch single, and this week I thought we wouldn't play Nippon Samba, which a lot of people have been asking to hear again, simply because we've played it over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Instead I thought I'd play one of the other tracks that are on the 12-inch. There's 4 on it on all, and this one is called Tambo Mache. That's the music from a German group called Lost Gringos, and that's on Atatat Records, available from Rough Trade Records at 202 Kensington Park Road, London West 11, and you'll be finding out more details on the shop from Pete Dunne, and an interview that took place earlier on this week. And by more details, I mean that if you've listened to us on a regular basis, you'll know that we've mentioned in the past that the Rough Trade shop is going to be closing down and moving fairly soon, so you'll be finding out more about that around about 9:15 on Jill's programme this evening, when Pete Dunne from the Rough Trade record shop reveals all. That track, by the way, was by Los Gringos, as I say, and on a 12-inch single from them, one of 4 tracks. That was Tambo Mache. We've had some great weather lately. The weather in the studio is hot and humid, I think it's fair to say. It's absolutely baking where we are at the moment, and I wouldn't mind being in How Devoto country, because where he is, they've got the rainy season. Howard Devoto, good single from him. That's the rainy season. Phoenix Radio, where the time is a couple of minutes past 8 o'clock, and at 8:30, remember Robert Wyatt with Spanish in the Works. If you'd like to write into us, the mailing address Phoenix Radio, number 1, St Barnabas Road, Woodford Green in Essex, and we'd appreciate any comments that you may have on the programmes, or if perhaps you'd like to hear something played here in a future week. And don't forget, some car stickers and posters and other such things are available. All you have to do is send us in a stamped address envelope, about 9 inches by 4 inches will be okay, but no stamped address envelope, I'm afraid we won't be able to give you a reply, because to you it's just sort of one letter, but to us it's a great many more than that. And just to reiterate something that was mentioned earlier on, if Jill Black's listening and you've got any 50p pieces, we'd appreciate some of those when you come along to do your programme. This next is for Patsy in East Dulwich. Thanks for your phone call, The Smiths.
You're listening to John Scott on Phoenix Radio.